Welcome back to The Aligned Singer. I'm so excited you're here. Today is such an important topic because we're talking about fear and anxiety when it's time for you to get up and share your amazing gift. We're talking about performance anxiety, audition anxiety, nerves on stage, and stage fright, or whatever you want to call it. But that terrible meltdown that sometimes we get as singers when we're about to get up in front of an audience or a panel to audition or perform, and you just don't feel like you can be at your best. I have so much experience with this because, as I've mentioned here and there on other episodes of The Aligned Singer, I had a time in my career several years in where I was hugely struggling with performance anxiety. And I got to the point where I was like, this cannot take me down. I have to get this sorted out. And so I started to actually get professional help and had a massive transformation. And now I am not nervous during auditions, performances, you name it. I'm cool as a cucumber. I'm fully in my artistry. And in fact, now I never even knew this was possible, but now I actually sing even better in front of an audience than I do in rehearsal because there are other people there. So it's like the polar opposite of being afraid to get up on stage or to audition. I'm actually so excited when I do so. But that is not how it started. And today I'm going to teach you the tool that I first learned to help me with this, and we're actually going to do it together. But before I do, let me introduce myself. Who is this lady anyways? My name is Sarah Hockey. I'm a voice teacher with an expertise in vocal technique. I'm a classical soprano professionally. That's what I do to make a living. And I'm your bel canto bestie. My goal is to help you get from wherever you are in your singing to wherever you want to be using the inner work and outer work. The outer work is stuff like your vocal technique, your performance practice, etc. The things I work on with my students in my studio. And the inner work, which is what we're working on today, is how we handle it when we hit roadblocks in our singing. Because, oh my gosh, you need to have your voice out in the world, and having roadblocks, that just can't, we're not going to hang with that. So one of the biggest roadblocks that can happen is it's finally time to get up on stage and you feel terrified and your body starts to do crazy stuff and you're like, what is this even my body? What's happening? My heart is racing. I have a student who says sometimes her legs feel like jello. It can be so intense. So I'm going to teach you a tool that I learned when I finally reached out and actually got help to completely heal performance anxiety and stage fright in my own career. I just want to say one thing before we dive in to what I'm going to show you today. And that's that in my own journey with being afraid to get up on stage and performing, what I started to find is that something that I had worked so hard on. And the reason I'm telling you this is I hope you see yourself in this narrative and can start to really stand up for yourself, because this anxiety and the fear thoughts are all inside of you. So you get to be back in the driver's seat and turn that car around. So what was happening with me is I was having complete meltdowns on stage. And I'm not joking you. I was having full on panic attacks. It was absolutely awful and it was really scary. And I got to the point in my career where I was already making my living singing. And I had, if you heard the first episode ever of The Aligned Singer, you know my story. And if you haven't, I'll give you it in a nutshell. It took me 6 years after I actually moved to New York City after conservatory to rebuild my technique, my instrument, and my skill set. It took me 6 years to do that and finally get hired as a soprano. And that was my greatest dream in life. But it took 6 long, painful years. And during that time, I didn't know that some weeds had gotten planted in my performance practice that led to this terrible stage fright when I finally was working. And here's the thing, I had sacrificed so much and worked so massively hard, like unimaginably hard on my voice, really, really worked on it. And I was like, wait a second, I'm up on stage. I'm not going to let these nervous system takedowns take away my dream. I am not going to give up. So I had two choices at the time: stop performing or solve it. I literally had those two choices, because continuing to suffer, which probably made me perform not as good as my potential and what I wanted to do on stage for these wonderful people who were hiring me, that was not going to fly. That was not going to fly. And so I finally started to confide in friends, and they led me to some professionals to help with this. Now, let's dive in. Let's dive in. But I wanted to say before we do, I am completely cured. Completely cured. And I feel like that word cure is powerful here. That's the only thing I really use it for in my life. Luckily, I've always been in good health and stuff, except for this one thing, and it's completely cured now. So if you're at the beginning of your journey with this and you need to have that conversation with yourself, think of all the things that you've done to get where you are. Now, you can either quit your dream. That's not happening, right? You're not quitting your dream. Or you can start to implement tools like what I'm going to show you today, and hopefully start to turn it around and find grounding in your nervous system. It's not going to be perfect at first. You're still going to feel a little bit nervous at first, most likely. Most likely. It took me some time to actually do all the work I needed to do to have a complete cure of stage fright, but I did. So it's possible for you too. I'm not a special snowflake. I'm not any more special or talented or gifted than anybody else. I'm just an example of what's possible if you do the, like I was saying before, inner work. So we're going to dive in. The tool I'm teaching you today is called tapping. It's called EFT Tapping. The acronym EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. Don't think it's woo-woo or anything. You're basically tapping your fingers on meridians in your body, kind of like acupressure points, or if you've ever been to acupuncture. And we're just literally, it's totally free, and you're just using your body to tap on these points, and it gives a signal to your nervous system, to your amygdala, and that fight, flight, freeze, submit response. When we start to freak out about something, it gives a signal of calm and immediately starts to take it down a notch and relax you. So I'll show you the points, and then we're going to go through an entire tapping journey together. It'll be short and sweet, and you'll be able to come back to this anytime you need grounding in your nervous system. So the points that we'll use today, there are more, but I'm going to use these points with you because they're super easy. First, we do what they call the karate chop point, which is the side of your hand. So with one hand, you tap the side of your other hand. Then we're going to do eyebrow point. It's right above your eyebrows at the very base of your forehead. Then we're going to do the side of your eye, aka your temples. Then we do right underneath the eye, like on the tippy top of your cheekbones. That one feels so good. Then we do right underneath your nose. So between the base of your nose and the top of your lip, we go there, like if you had a cutie little mustache or something. Then we do underneath your mouth, so right on your chin. And then we're going to finish out with collarbone, which happens to be my favorite. I don't know why, but this one really helps if I need some grounding. This one really moves energy for me. And then we'll go top of the head. There are 3 more points that I like to use sometimes, and you can experiment with them if you want to. One is wrists. So where you would wear a little bracelet on your wrists, you tap one hand on the other wrist. One of them is a sternum point, which I only recently learned, right on your sternum or right in the center of your chest. And then one that sometimes I'll do is underneath your arms. But just for the sake of my microphone and things, I'm going to just stick to the upper points. And to be honest, it harkens back to when I first learned tapping, because those are the points we used. So let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. When we're tapping, first we start with acknowledging how we're feeling in the moment. So we're going to actually say what's coming up for you and you'll repeat after me. You can keep your eyes open or closed. I do it both ways. I find it has a great effect on me either way. If you are feeling really panicky or there's a lot of stimuli around you visually, then I would suggest that you actually let your eyes close if you can. But if you happen to be, let's say, on a nature walk, on a hike, on the beach, or somewhere that's really beautiful, like a flower garden or something, in that case, it might actually be very calming to your nervous system to keep your eyes open if you're looking at something that is extremely relaxing to you. Or maybe you even have a pet like a cat or a dog and they're sleeping on the couch by you. You can gaze at them or even pet them a little bit, and that can also help relax that nervous system, fight, flight, freeze, submit energy we were talking about, bring you back into balance. So here we go. First, let's start by taking 3 deep breaths. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just let it go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. You can even make some sound. 4, 5. And I'm going to teach you one more little inhale that helps with relaxing the nervous system that actually comes from the world of somatic therapy, but also bel canto technique and breathing. So it's a long sniff and a short sniff through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And since you're a singer, I actually want you to make some sound when you exhale, like so. Do it with me. Do it with me again. Now once on your own. And bonus little tip, the vagus nerve helps to regulate the nervous system, and it actually connects up in here through your vocal folds and all the way down here. So that's really helpful also for taking that fight, flight, freeze, submit response down a notch and helping you ground. We're going to dive in. When we tap, the first thing we do is start to name how you're feeling in the present moment. If words or phrases that I use don't quite resonate with you, you can totally change the phrases, and then you're going to repeat out loud the statements that I say. Again, you can transform them to do what resonates for you. But since you're a singer, your voice out loud where you can hear it back is really powerful, and that's really important because we want to try and transmute this fear as fast as we can. Let's dive in. You'll start tapping on the side of your hand and repeat after me. Even though I feel all of this fear, I still love and accept myself. Even though I feel so scared right now, I love myself and I accept how I feel. Even though I feel afraid, like I'll never be able to get rid of this feeling, I still accept myself, I still love myself, and I accept all of myself. Even though I'm so worried and so scared, I still love and accept myself. Now tapping through the points, tap on your eyebrow point. All this fear. Side of the eye, all this fear in my body. Under the eye, all this fear in my mind. Under the nose, I feel so much tension in my, and then name where you feel it in your body. Under the mouth, all this tension in my, and then name it again or name a different place where you feel tension. Collarbone, I know this is trying to keep me safe. Top of the head, but this isn't helping at all. Eyebrow point. Keep acknowledging how you feel. These days when I sing, my heart starts racing and I feel really scared. Side of the eye. I want to feel happy on stage. Under the eye, I wish I could just feel better. Now start to get curious, quiet and curious, under the nose. It's like a part of me keeps gripping, trying to keep me safe. Under the mouth, but it's not working. I feel worse. Collarbone. All these racing thoughts. Top of the head. What if I could turn a corner with this? Keep tapping. And now I want you to start to call forth, call forward this small part of you that's really scared. You might see it as a shape. You might see it as a younger version of you or a tiny version of you. Whatever it is, start to call it forth. It's safe to acknowledge this part of you. Okay, eyebrow point. Let's do another round. I'm starting to see this little part of me. Side of the eye. This part of me that's scared. Under the eye, but it's just a small part of me. Under the nose. Of course, things have happened before that make me nervous. Under the mouth. Maybe I can acknowledge this part of me so it feels seen. Collarbone. And so it can start to feel safe. Take a deep breath, top of the head. Repeat after me, I love you and I see you. And imagine that part of you when you say it. Eyebrow point. Turn your attention back to your present self. I know how to breathe, and breathe while you repeat me. Side of the eye. I know how to sing. Under the eye. I am made for this. And if you feel nerves coming up again, or butterflies, or any sensation like that, just breathe and let yourself feel it now. Under the nose. You know, nerves feel a lot like excitement. Under the mouth. I wonder if that little part of me that I felt in touch with, maybe it could start to feel excited. Collarbone. Or happy. Top of the head. That I get to sing. Eyebrow. And share my gift. Side of the eye. Other people want to hear me sing. Under the eye. Other people are excited to hear me. Under the nose. Maybe I can let excitement and joy take over. Under the mouth. I've worked so hard to get to this place. Collarbone. It's safe for me to feel excited. Top of the head. Repeat after me. We're going to acknowledge some positive statements. And if they don't feel true yet, that's okay. We're just going to say them anyways. They'll feel truer and truer each time we do this. So top of the head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, make some sound. Here we go. Last round. Eyebrows. I am safe. Side of the eye. I am safe to shine. Under the eye. It's safe for me to shine. Under the nose. It's safe for me to share my light. Under the mouth. I'm excited to share my gift. Collarbone. I'm excited to sing. Top of the head. I am safe and at ease. Now you can stop tapping, take one wrist and wrap your hand around that wrist really tightly. Take a deep breath in and just say peace. Now check in with your body and notice if you feel a difference from when we first started tapping. I wasn't even feeling stage fright and I feel better. This practice you can come back to again and again, and you could do it following along with me. You can do it on your own. And the structure that's so helpful and was so helpful for me when I was first starting to learn this is as you tap on the side of your hand, you really name how you're feeling. Like if you feel scared or freaked out or whatever, stressed, you name it. And then you say, I love and accept myself. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first started doing this, I didn't feel like I accepted myself, and it made me cry because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not accepting myself. And then you can start to accept all the parts of you. There's only one tiny part of you that feels afraid, but that part of you, it's like a screaming infant, is very, very loud, and your body starts to respond to that little part. So seeing that part of you and acknowledging that part and acknowledging that, who knows, maybe you had some stressful or negative experiences in your performing in the past, that part of you is holding on to that negative experience from the past or a few of them, it can start to release its grip. And then the physiology, the physical sensation of nerves and fear can start to transmute, and the same physical sensation can be there, like butterflies, heart beating fast, but that's excitement then. And it's physiologically the exact same response. The fear and excitement, but it's the thoughts around it. It's the part of us that's telling us, like screaming these negative stories, that we need to be in touch with and help that part of you calm down. So the greater you, the greater part of you can come forth, and that's the part that we want to lead while you're on stage. We're not like banishing any parts of you. We want to bring all of them together so that when you're on stage, you are one whole self, one whole singer, and you can be totally present with your audience. So this might take some time, and repetition is very important for neuroplasticity, which is how you learn, which is how you transform, which is how you change, even things that feel very deep down. As you create new neural pathways in your brain, we talked about it a few episodes back. I love talking about it. 2 episodes back, I think we talked about it. It's like you're blazing a new trail in your mind, and this whole new neural network will form around positive experiences with performing. Well, wow, that was amazing. That was the first time I've done that on video, and I loved it, or audio if you're just looking deeply into your earbuds. So there will be more episodes on this where I actually share the tools that I use to have a complete cure of performance and audition anxiety and give those tools to you. Empowering you to be at your best as a singer is so important to me. That is my life's work, is to help you be at your best in front of an audience so that you can share your gift with the world. Because guess what? There's only one you. There's only one you to interpret the songs you love, the pieces and repertoire you love in the way that you can. And being able to do that with joy, that is your path. If you're not there yet, you sure will be. You can be joyful, effervescent, and feel at your best on stage. You certainly deserve that, and so does your audience, and that's what we all want for you. If nobody has reminded you today, I just want to remind you that I believe in you. I sure do. And I want you to keep singing. If you want to connect with me, if you have requests for tools or things like that, just send me a DM over on Instagram. I'm at Voice Teacher Sarah on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I would love to connect with you. I love chatting with you, especially over on IG where I'm the most active. And if you'd like to work with me, study voice with me, or work with me on these tools, then reach out to me. You can apply to work with me. Just Google Voice Teacher Sarah Hockey and you'll find my website and whatever my current offerings are over there. I believe in you. Keep going. Do not give up. If you keep repeating things like this tapping meditation over and over, it's going to make a difference. I promise you that. Bye for now.